Hi, I'm Kayla. Welcome to my channel. This week I went to Jerry's Artarama for the first time and picked up a couple of new mediums that I've never tried and I'm really looking forward to using. For this piece I decided to use the Winsor & Newton Designer's Gouache. I picked up the introductory set that comes with 10 14 ml tubes. I chose this one in particular because of the dual primaries. It came with primary red, spectrum red, primary yellow, permanent yellow deep, primary blue, ultramarine, permanent green middle, yellow ochre, ivory black, and zinc white. And I really wish it had a more opaque white, but looking back in my supplies I actually found a permanent white in this same brand. I'm really excited to try my hand at using a limited palette and also to learn to mix my own colors. I never really went to art school. The only art class I had was in the second grade, so I don't think that really counts. So this is a really exciting adventure trying this limited palette. With these angelfish I chose the cool primaries, or what I'm assuming were the cool primaries. To start off I used the ultramarine and the permanent yellow deep for the background, and it was kind of washed out. I was trying to use it like watercolor, and later on I come back and deepen up the bottom. Here I add a lot of water to that black and add the shadows into this first fish, and right there I'm putting it where the light wouldn't hit on that fin. Then I do the same thing to the second fish. Now I'm adding some of the permanent yellow deep because these angelfish have a nice yellow area on their eyes and in their fins. And kind of darken it up a little bit. I'm kind of working both of these fish at the same time, just doing the same colors in the same areas. That way I don't have to come back and do it again later. And just use the pigment on my brush. I'm using some of the spectrum red with a little of that permanent yellow deep to make the eyes. And then I add a little bit of ultramarine to make this reddish brown for the spots in the fins. And this is a really good example of going through the ugly phase. Your painting doesn't have to look spectacular the whole way through, as long as you follow your own pattern. And it doesn't work the same for everybody. I'm just adding with that light gray some of that the shadow on the scales, and now it starts to come together when I'm adding this dark black stripes. And I just go straight in with very little water and a lot of the ivory black gouache. Make sure I put the stripes in the fins and then continue it around the body. If you just go straight down, it doesn't look like it's a real fish. It looks really flat. So you want to kind of curve the way the fish's body would curve. A little straighter on the fins because there's not much curve to it. And adding the gills there. My kids are putting their cup up on the counter, making their little guest appearance there. And really darkening up where the fin touches the body. And then just doing the same thing to the second fish. This medium was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I expected a learning curve, but coming from the watercolor, it really was very intuitive. Here I realized that my shadow colors weren't quite dark enough after adding that bold black. So I'm coming in and deepening a lot of the shadows just underneath the fish, and I made them a little too dark, so I'm just blotting it off, adding a little extra water and blotting it off. Deepening those shadows and the scales. Adding a little bit of an outline to really make it pop from the background. And here I'm adding some white highlights in the fins, on the eyes, and on those long front fins. I think if I could go back, I would have used some frisket and covered where the fish were when I did the background, but hindsight's 50-50. And here I go in and I'm trying to smooth out that background. It didn't quite look the way I wanted it to, so I'm trying to make it a little darker in the bottom where the water would be deeper, adding some more white highlights and then going to the other side after it had dried. I'm trying to smooth everything out. I did find on this lighter part, I was picking up more pigment when I was trying to smooth everything out. And so I ended up adding more pigment to my brush to try and counter that. Adding those deep, deep yellows. And adding some more black outlines to the fins. And I'm about done. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you would like to see me do in the future. Have a great day. Bye.